There's such a deep belief that people understand what time is, but time is really pain management. Time is really the incremental avoidance of pain. And where is that pain coming from? It's really from facing the guilt and shame in our own minds. Yes, it may be sharp in the moment when you turn to face it, but it's been a low-level, numbing, dying experience your entire life. So yes, just like ripping off a Band-Aid, it may be slightly sharp in the moment you turn to face it, but then it's gone. So in the willingness to face this guilt and shame that's been chasing you down your whole life, what you're going to find is peace of mind. So that's the invitation, to see that time is a grievance. If I just give myself more time, I'll be able to prove I'm not guilty. Not discover you're innocent, but just prove you're not guilty. And so time is a grievance against your own innocence, where you ignore the fact that you've been told that everything is forgiven, and you again and again repeat the same idea that you must do something, that you must personally atone for something, you're not even sure really what, in order to be forgiven. If you start to think of time and wanting and needing time as a grievance against yourself, then good use of time, the Holy Spirit's use of time, becomes something very important. What does good use of time look like? Good use of time is time spent allowing spaciousness for forgiveness. You can delay, but delay is painful because it's increasing time. And so the invitation is, in time, while you experience yourself in a linear self-concept, which is going from birth to death and living sequential days, one after another, is to notice that that's Groundhog Day. And the only way to transcend is to get off the line and get the point. So that's the invitation, is to see that time is a grievance. And good use of time is using this moment for the singular purpose of forgiveness. Accepting that everything has already been forgiven, rather than using all your time, effort, money, resources, relationships for distraction to avoid feeling the pain of the guilt and shame. So that's the invitation, to face the guilt and shame, to not waste time. Miracles are the collapse of time and space and the rules that you've been living under. So you see, it's time to uncover and discover what you've been using time for. And you've been using time to hide your grievance against yourself. And this is an invitation to let that grievance go by using time to accept your own innocence, by accepting the truth of who you are, that you're not a person in the world, that you've never done anything wrong or right. And that's really good use of time. And so you begin to savor each and every moment that's given to you for that singular purpose. And you no longer have striving goals or ambition for the future, because there is nothing you need to achieve if you're in full acceptance that everything has already been given. Everything has been forgiven and given to you. It's all the past. So the more you become aware that you're watching and witnessing to the past, the more you can come into a state of forgiveness of the one watching, a state of innocence, understanding that this was the play of those that believed they had separated and were playing out a story of guilt and shame. Because the guilt and shame is not real once you come to this discovery of who you are in truth. But it must be faced, because it's the very reason and way you're keeping yourself a person on the screen of the world. And the only way you can get off that is to face the guilt and shame that keeps you locked down, trying to prove that you're not guilty. Imagine using time, each and every moment that you seem to be present, just to restore yourself to awareness of your own innocence and the innocence of everyone around you, just to remember who you are.